An AEW star is injured and their future plans have been scrapped. Another match has been added to AEW's Double or Nothing. And what happened after Dynamite went off the air? It's all in the wrestling news right now. We're sending our best to Hikaru Shida this morning. It was announced during the Rampage tapings. We're not going to give you results and stuff for what happened on Rampage at this point. If you want it spoiler-free, don't worry. But what I will say is Tony Schiavone announced that during Rampage, he announced that Hikaru Shida was injured and she was out of the Owen Hart tournament. She was set to compete in the quarterfinals next week. Now that is not happening. We don't know the nature of the injury, nor when the injury occurred, because she's had a couple of matches recently.
She has, yeah. She's been doing stuff away from AEW. So the belief is that it probably happened over in Japan. She'd done like a multi-woman match for Oz Academy, but I don't know. It's just really disappointing to hear. I'm a really big fan of Hikaru Shida as well. I think she's great. I don't think she was going to win the thing or anything like that, but I always enjoy seeing her compete. Her replacement has been announced as Chris Statlander.
That's a good shout.
I agree.
They've been sort of workshopping Chris Statlander and the gimmick and the overall look for the past few weeks. So it'd be nice to see this kind of refreshed Chris Statlander.
I think she's needed it, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like the alien. I like, the alien thing.
But I think you can only go so far with that gimmick.
I think Jim Ross warned us of this several times. He tried to commentate her on television. Was she an alien or what? I don't know. She should stop doing dives.
Burying the talent.
I wish wrestlers would stop doing dives and just do headlocks for several hours. Cheers, Jim. So best wishes to Hikaru Shida. When we know more about it, of course, we'll let you know more at cultaholic.com. But that's her out again, and it's a shame to be missing her from action once more. Staying with AEW, Adam, let's get this sorted once and for all. It's Bret Hart joining AEW.
No!
Of course he's not.
No, he's not. He's really old and he doesn't want to fly. Tony Khan, talking to TSN, asked outright if Bret is joining, and he said, not right now. I think Bret himself said that Bret had basically revealed as much in a recent interview. We didn't know if we were being worked. Maybe we're still being worked. I don't think so. First of all, we have great respect for Bret Hart as a company and as individuals. A lot of the wrestlers here and myself respect Bret as a great person and a great wrestler. He would always be somebody we would treasure whenever he's around. He was involved in the first Double or Nothing in 2019, of course. He unveiled the lovely belt, but he said he's happy at home right now. It's a great thing he's got going, and we've got so much respect for Bret Hart. I don't really ever see him. I could see him like escorting them to the ring, right, on a pay-per-view or something. Maybe if they were in Canada, especially.
Well, there were some issues regarding like a WWE deal.
That was cleared up. That was cleared up.
That had been cleared up.
That was just a merch thing, I believe, that would allow him to do the AEW thing. But can you imagine him flying to Dynamite every week? I just don't see it happening. I'm one of Bret's biggest fans ever.
But then it does raise the question then, like, if this was never something that was sort of signed, sealed, delivered, in the books, in the pocket, going to happen, like, why are they teasing it? Why are FTR like dropping little teases about it? And I think we should hold them accountable here. Like, why? I genuinely think that if you're not factored into a piece of booking, if you're not factored into doing something, then there's a real issue with going online and basically trying to shoehorn a booking in where you're not factored in. I think that's grossly unprofessional.
I agree, and it's not just a single. They were looking for a long-term, very expensive for AEW booking there with Bret Hart. Yeah. They wanted him managing them every week. And I agree, and I think it's a real problem with wrestlers and social media, them starting beefs, and then it causes a headache for whichever company that they do it. They all bloody do it as well. And also, it gets fans' expectations up as to something that's not going to happen, and you're not delivering something that they think they're going to get.
Exactly.
I think it's foolish.
We'll talk more about it when I'm sat here with Brian Zane next week on the Cultaholic Wrestling News. We're flying him in.
We can't
putting him in the Marriott.
The Marriott.
It's not the Marriott. It's a boat that is oared off the Tyne.
The Marriott.
The Marriott. What did you think of, man?
Owned by Mary Zane, his mother. It's super cheap.
Sammy's cousin. Actually, you know what? Let's stay with AEW a little bit longer. Tony Khan announced that the Grand Slam's coming back. Yes. The Dynamite special they did at Arthur Ashe. They're doing that again. And they haven't announced a date yet. It's going to be a couple of months, so probably the autumn or the fall, if you're in America.
Yeah.
This did really well for them the last time. They were turning people away from Arthur Ashe for this last time.
Excellent. I really like the name. I don't have much to add to that, but Grandstand is a cool name, isn't it?
It is a cool name. Great work.
Analysis.
Great analysis. And Brian Zane gets here next week. We'll really get into the weeds on this. Double or Nothing.
It's off.
See you soon, Brian. AEW Double or Nothing coming up.
Yeah, you will, because you'll be sacked and you'll have to fly out there.
Can't wait to see you, Brian. I'll see you when I get there. AEW Double or Nothing coming up at the end of this month. We already know the main event of that, which we'll touch on in just a second. I think we've had another match added. There's a few hoops for one party to jump through before we get there, though, right?
It's a typical MJF thing. Yes, there are hoops to jump through. MJF said that for a match with Wardlow to take place at Double or Nothing, first he will whip Wardlow 10 times. Deja vu. After that, Wardlow will have to face Shawn Spears in a cage match with MJF as the special guest referee, which is something I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I think that's a really fun little bit, especially the special guest ref thing. If Wardlow wins, then the match for Double or Nothing does become official. However, there is another caveat to this. If Wardlow loses to MJF at Double or Nothing, he will never be allowed to sign a contract with AEW. If he wins, he will be released from his contract with MJF, which, I'm just going to put it out there, I think is actually taking it a step too far. Not in a kayfabe where I'm not upset that we might not see it again. I just think it makes it a little bit too predictable. He'll never be able to sign with AEW. I think most of us expected Wardlow to win anyway, but that to me is like the nail in the coffin. It'll still be great, it'll still be a really good match and everything, but I don't think it needed that.
Slightly over-egging the pudding.
Maybe. What do you think?
I agree. I think there's a lot. I mean, it does, as you say, it's wildly similar to something they've done before. It's almost like they're trying
I like that. I like MJF going back to the same old tactics and just being a bastard again.
So what this, putting my old booking hat on, what this could possibly lovingly lead to is down the line when MJF really wants to fight with somebody and they go, all right, I'll give you a match, but I've got to whip you 10 times. You've got to beat my guy in a cage match.
Ooh, I like that.
So they can twist it down the road. That'd be quite nice to see. So that's potentially happening at Double or Nothing. We're going to see Wardlow versus MJF. The pre-show, the buy-in, will feature the tag team debut of Hookhausen. Hook and Danhausen going to team up to face Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese.
Poor Tony Nese.
There's that legend of WWE, Tony Nese. What's he doing here?
Not a lot. I think Tony Nese has got a
lovely body.
Yeah, he's got a lovely body. I think he's got a lot of positives against him. Hey, listen, it's a short term. It's fine. It's just one match, isn't it? But yeah, looking forward to seeing them tag together.
Speaking of Hook, he was very heavily involved in some stuff that went down when Dynamite went off the air last night, wasn't he?
Absolutely. That dastardly heel CM Punk. He was playing heel, of course, because they were in Long Island and he'd done the rivalry previously with MJF. And he was playing the bad guy. He came out, Punk and Hook bumping each other, shaking hands, but then Hook refused to let go of Punk's hand, pulled him into a T-bone suplex, locked him in the red rum, and sent the fans home happy. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Like, Punk getting beaten up to send the fans home happy. I didn't expect to see that in 2022, but there you go. It's fine.
It's non-canon.
And you know the great thing about this? Punk, a long time back, SmackDown, following, I think it was a steel cage match, he laid in the ring until all the fans went home. He did a very similar thing last night. He just laid there because he'd been cursed as well. Brilliant stuff. I really like that. He just laid in the center of the ring as the fans filtered out.
God bless him. I like him for that. Can't wait for me and Brian Zane to talk more about it next week.
I like that name, Brian Zane. It's good, that, isn't it?
It's nice. It's a lovely name. When he's flown in next week, along with William R. Washington from Grapsody, we'll bring him in as well. It's going to be... I've got some flights to charter.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, put those on your card, mate.
You're the boss. More news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.